Bomba, Alori Whitwell Bomba. Big news regarding Sesko. Uh, so let's get started. We have big news regarding Benjamin Sesko, and I'm pretty excited. It's been a long day at the office, but well, just got online a few hours ago and just saw the news, and I'm very excited. Decided to come on and have a live with you guys. How's everyone doing? How's your day been? It's getting warmer in Nairobi. I don't know how it is where you are. Let me know in the comment section below. So let's get started. United choose Sesko. Benjamin Sesko is United's choice. Remember that United wanted to have Watkins or Sesko. They were discussing both, but it seems that United have decided to go for Benjamin Sesko. He's younger than Watkins, much more expensive. Watkins would go for around, based on the reports I'm seeing online, Watkins would be available for around 45 to 50 million. Not the 60 million we've been seeing going around. But Benjamin Sesko will go for around 80 million euros or 70 million euros, and that's a bit expensive. It's quite expensive. And United fans, we are a bit divided on who we want to go for. Some are saying Watkins. Myself, I would prefer to go for Ollie Watkins because of Premier League experience, overall experience in terms of his age. And right now, we need a forward that will come in and kickstart the season. We don't want to have another player who will come in and take more time to settle in. Sesko, he's 22. Yes, he has a bit of experience playing for Salzburg and Leipzig. We can't really compare Sesko with Højlund, because Højlund only played one season in the Serie A, and then United bought him. But Sesko has played a couple of seasons in the Bundesliga as well. As when he was at Salzburg, he has played some first-team football. So earlier today, news broke that this is from David Onstein. If you're on TikTok, make sure you check what we are seeing over here. Go to the description, profile description, click the link, and then you'll see what we are seeing here. So Manchester United prioritizing Benjamin Sesko if striker signed this summer. The 22-year-old now preferred option for Manchester United. Informal contact with Leipzig has been made. The Slovenian international also remains a top target for Newcastle United. Yeah, we know that Newcastle also have gone in for Sesko. Newcastle are not having a good transfer window, and they are being rejected by every player they go to. Remember that they wanted Cunha, they wanted Mbumo, Ekitike, and all of those players have joined other clubs. The only player I think they've signed so far is the former United player in Elanga. I'm not sure whether they've signed any other player. And currently United are going in for him. And I'm not feeling sorry for Newcastle. As they say, there is only one United. But it seems in this case, it's going to end up being United. I would love to see us sign Sesko and Newcastle miss out on him, because Newcastle are not having a good transfer window. And despite having Champions League football, Sesko is still choosing United over them. From the news that Onstein posted, let me just go through the article. It says that United's decision to go for Sesko over Watkins is fascinating in so many ways. This will be the more expensive of the deals between Watkins and, of course, Sesko, but will bring in a young player to complement the more established Premier League signings of Cunha and Mbumo. So remember that we keep mentioning, and I know you've had this a couple of times, that with the signings of Cunha and Mbumo, it reduces the reliability or the dependency on the forward. Having a forward as the only person to score goals. Right now, we have Cunha, we have Mbumo, we have Ahmad, we have Bruno, who can be able to create chances as well as score goals. And now the forward you are going to get is going to complement those. The last live I said we need a forward who can be able to drop deep, be able to connect play, be able to bring in the likes of Cunha and Bumo into the game, run the channels, create chances for himself as well as for the two number 10s. We know that the three players I've mentioned, Cunha, Bumo, and Bruno, will score goals. And if we get a forward that can add at least 15 goals a season, we are good to go. Sesko is a good goal scorer. He's physical. He's quite combative. He's fast. He's tall. We know that United are very poor in set pieces, in corners, in free kicks. Headed goals are quite limited. Unless we have Maguire or Casemiro heading the ball, we can't really score goals via headers. Sesko, yes, will be a bigger risk. The article says here that Amorim prefers Watkins. Let me just go to the section that Christopher Vival, who's the United's director of recruitment, is influential in this proposed transfer for Sesko. Of course, he was at Salzburg and Leipzig in executive roles, and we do know that Christopher Vival is the one that signed or scouted and signed uh, Benjamin Sesko. He signed Sesko when he was at Salzburg. When he moved to Leipzig, he also brought in Sesko. So he was at Salzburg and Leipzig in the executive roles when the Sesko deals were agreed, and has advocated for United making another move. Now, this is United's fourth time going for Sesko. The first time Manchester United went for Sesko was in 2019 when he was just 16 years old, and he was playing for Domzale, Domzale. But he failed. And back then, the costs or the signing fee for Sheshko would have been 2 million euros. And that's what Salzburg paid for him. United also held conversations in 2022 for Sheshko. But Sheshko agreed to move to Leipzig. If you remember correctly, back in 2022, United were heavily linked with Sheshko, and they wanted to sign that forward, but he went to Leipzig last season as well. Top clubs like United, Arsenal wanted to sign Sheshko, but he opted to stay at Leipzig to get more experience, and he signed another deal. He signed a new deal, and that's why the cost currently, the transfer fee, is higher than what it was back in 2022-23. So United, when they went for Sheshko in 2022, he decided to move to Leipzig. We also made an approach last summer when he signed a new deal. He decided to stay at Leipzig and get a new deal. When we missed out on him, we went for Joshua Zirkzee. So if he could have accepted, then we would have had Sheshko last season. So if we look at that story, now United are trying the fourth time to sign him, and this is a player that has been tracked by Manchester United since 2019. So we are not going for a player that we've just recently scouted, or because Christopher Vivel is there and has recommended him. No, this is a player that would have been signed under the Glazers regime, and now Ineos want him. Ineos are opting to go for Sheshko because of the sort of profile Ineos are going for. We've had Radcliffe say that United need to sign the next Neymar. They need to sign the next Jude Bellingham. We've been going for older players from foreign leagues. Most of the time, we used to sign players who are past it. They are past their prime. An example is Eriksen. Another example is Casemiro at the moment. You've seen us sign the likes of Zlatan, Matic. So now Ineos are trying to change that philosophy where we go for young players who have a higher ceiling. So Watkins, yes, will have been good. And as I said, I prefer to have Watkins in the squad because we need a forward right now who can adapt quickly and give us a good performance. But now Ineos are going for younger players. We've seen the profiles they are going for. We've seen Dogu, we've seen Heaven, we've seen Chido. Cunha and Bumo, of course, they are a bit older. They are 24, but they are at their current prime. And the profile they wanted was to have players who scored goals in the Premier League and can come in and completely change the squad. So Sheshko fits that bill, the sort of profile United want. And now the reports state that Manchester United have begun informal talks with Leipzig regarding Sheshko. And Sheshko himself prefers a move to United or to Manchester United. Let me say United, Manchester United, other than Newcastle United. And uh, uh, Ornstein goes on further to say that um, figuring out how United will afford that will come down to sales, which are yet to be realized, and hard negotiations with Leipzig are expected. We know at the moment United are low on cash. We don't have a good transfer kit this window, and Manchester United are looking for sales. We've only had out of the 5 outcasts, we've only had one outgoing, and that is Rashford to Barcelona. Um, Today we saw reports that Anthony has rejected a move to Brazil as well as Saudi. He prefers to go back to Betis, and that's causing an issue for United because Manchester United need to make some sales. Um, Also, Garnacho is insisting, plus his agent, they are insisting that they want to stay in the Premier League. At the moment, other than Chelsea, we haven't seen any other club that has been interested in Garnacho. There were rumors that Aston Villa are looking at him and they will use Watkins to make a deal with United, a swap deal. I wouldn't swap a 22-year-old for a 29 or a 30-year-old. No, I wouldn't. That's absolutely foolish to have that swap deal. Um, Before we continue, I'm seeing guys who've joined. Thanks for everyone who's watching. Please post a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the Sheshko deal, the Sheshko news that United are going for him. Are you happy that Manchester United are going to uh, fully in for Sheshko? Would you still prefer Watkins? Do you think that the move will happen? Let me know in the comment section. On TikTok, we have DNK who has joined. Welcome very much. We have Eve who's joining. We have Mariah K who's joined. Branisliam. That's an interesting name. We also have Joffrey. Hi, Joffrey and Barry. Thanks for everyone who's joined via TikTok. Also on my personal page, Facebook page, our United Core Ground YouTube and X page. Whoever is watching, thank you very much. Now, continuing with Sheshko news, that I mentioned that Garnacho doesn't want to move to any other club other than in the Premier League, and I'm thinking that they might be playing a waiting game, where they know that the price will go down as the window closes. As the deadline approaches, the price might go down. United want at least 60 million pounds for Garnacho. He's worth that. I mean, if Madueke, Joao Pedro are going for 55 million and Elanga is going for 55 million, then we should easily get 60 million for Garnacho. And we need to show clubs that now we are a selling club. We keep mentioning in our lives, in our videos, that United are not good at selling players, but now we need to change that. If Garnacho wants to leave, it's quite simple. Get the club, pay us 60 million. It can be 50 million plus 10 in add-ons, can be 55 million plus 5, but we have to get at least 60 million for Garnacho. He's worth that amount, if not 70. I mean, if Chelsea are valuing Jackson at 80 million to 100 million, why shouldn't we get a similar amount for Garnacho? It doesn't make sense selling Garnacho for 30 million. No. If he doesn't get a move, I'd be happy getting him back to the squad. Amorim did say he will reintegrate them back into the squad. Of all the 4 that are remaining, Anthony, Garnacho, and I keep forgetting his name, the left back. What's his name? Anyway, if they don't get moves, I'd say Garnacho, because Garnacho has something to offer compared to the others. Uh, Watkins represents a guaranteed Premier League option as possible, but United is going for a player who could spend a decade at the club if all goes well. That's the article by Onstein via The Athletic. So, yeah, Sesko for 22 can play until he's 32. He can stay at the club for 10, 15 years. He can play until he's 35. Um, the pros of buying Sesko is he's young, higher ceiling. I can't really talk about a resale value because even if we buy Watkins, he wouldn't have a resale value. We can't talk about a resale value. Look at Hoyland. He has no resale value at the moment. Look at Anthony. Look at Sancho. Um, they really don't have a resale value. And when you're buying players, sometimes you look at the resale value. For example, the deal for Eden Heaven makes sense because we bought him at 1.5. That is 1 million transfer fee and 500k for compensation and other things. If we sell him even for 15 million, 20 million, 30 million, that's a good resale value. Chido, we bought him on the cheap. Even if we decide to sell him for 20, 30 million, that's a resale value. Sheshko, he wouldn't have a resale value because now he's one of the best attackers in Europe, or the most sought after attackers in Europe. He just signed a new deal. So if you amortize they have to make some money out of it. Um, of course, with clubs coming in, like Newcastle coming in, they might force a bidding war. United can go in and try to negotiate a much lesser fee. Let's say instead of paying the 80 million euros, they can say we are going to spend 70 or 60. So it can be, let's say, 55 plus 5, it can be 50 plus 10. But Newcastle can come in and say, okay, if United are offering a total package of 60, we are going to give you 100. So they can do, let's say, 80 million upfront and 20 million in add ons, and probably even add a sell on clause or a profit from next sale. So uh, Leipzig are at an advantage because now there is a bidding war between Newcastle and Manchester United. But what would help Manchester United is the fact that Sheshko has chosen or prefers a move to United. Why? We all know, obviously. United are a bigger club. Right now, he's sure that when he comes in, he'll be our starting forward. And he has worked with Vival and Amorim, of course. Probably Sheshko is looking at Amorim and saying if he made Victor Gyökeres the way he is, probably he can also be a similar sort of player. Now, what would happen to Chido, Zakzi, and Hoyland if we sign Sheshko? Honestly, my thought would be we'll either sell Hoyland or we loan out Chido. Zaxi, I'm not seeing him being sold. I would be shocked if we sell Zaxi. Reason being, Zaxi can play multiple positions. Joshua can play number 10. He can also play as a 9. And with Amorim's fluid system, he can use him for specific games. For example, we could have Zaxi playing as a 9, Cunha and Bumo being there. There's a time you can find Bumo goes as a 9, Zaxi drops in as a number 10. So I'm not seeing Joshua, Zaxi, or Jay-Z being sold at this time. Probably next summer. If he does not perform, he will be sold. Chido, he's young, and with fewer games this season, and we have Sesko coming in, he might not get enough games. Of course, he will drop down the pecking order because the pecking order will be or might be Sesko will be first option. We have Hoyland as second option. Then we have Jay-Z as third. So which means Chido will play or will be the fourth option. So Chido will go out on loan, or we decide to cash in on Hoyland because we know that clubs are interested in him, and one of the clubs is Inter Milan. Despite signing a forward the other day, Inter Milan are still interested in him. And clubs in Italy would love to sign him because he did perform pretty well in Italy. So you don't be shocked. Clubs like even Fiorentina go for him, Roma go for him, or even Juventus, they can't go for him. You know that Juve want to do away with Vlahovic to a point where we had reports that they want to terminate his contract. So, as I mentioned, the expectation if we sign Sesko would be either Hoyland to be sold or Chido to go out on loan. I'm not seeing us having four forwards with those few games because we will have an average of one game every week. The only other games probably Chido can play is the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, and that's much later in the season. The Carabao Cup, of course, starts sometime in September, but having fewer games means more competition. And if there is more competition, it means some players will not get games. It's a similar problem we have in the midfield and in the defense, because now we have Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, Amorim wants to play him as a left centre back. We have Martinez there. Heaven is performing there already. So we have those three. Remember, we have Maguire, and then we have Delict, we have Mazraoui, we have Dalot, we have Diogo Leon, we have Ahmad. We have all these players, all of them are defenders. For example, Mazraoui can play as a right centre back or a right wing back. Now, where will Dalot play? Will he play as a right wing back? Is he good enough to put Ahmad on the bench? So those are good problems to have when you have fewer games. And I like what Amorim said, that with fewer games, it means more competition. And we need more competition so that players can perform well. We need to get out of a situation where we've seen players not performing well because they are guaranteed they'll play. And I think that's one of the reasons why a player like Onana was quite poor, because he knows at the end of the day, he's the number one. There is no other number two that can challenge my position. And a similar thing happened to De Gea. De Gea knew he didn't have good competition until we got Romero and he started performing. So United needs to get that competition going within, and also the culture needs to change. Now, let's see if there is more on Sheshko before we move to the preview. Um, Sesko scored one fewer Bundesliga goal in 24-25 than he did the year before, despite playing almost an extra 900 minutes. So one of the concerns I have, and of course I know most United fans have, or you may have, is that Sesko has not scored a lot of goals compared to Watkins. He does not also have the numbers in assists compared to Watkins. Well, would his numbers improve at United? Not sure. One of the reasons why I'm a bit scared about Sheshko is the environment at Manchester United is not good for any player coming in at the moment, unless Amorim works harder and the team works harder to change the environment, as it were. Uh, for example, if we look at Sheshko going to Newcastle, we know for sure that he will perform at Newcastle. If Sheshko went to Arsenal, we are sure that he will perform there. Similar to Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres has gone to Arsenal. We are sure that he will perform well there. Of course, as haters, we'll be hate watching and hoping that Gyökeres flops. But if we compare Victor Gyökeres coming to United and him going to Arsenal, you have a gut feeling that he will perform better at Arsenal compared to Manchester United. Watkins, why would we be a bit sure? Because the risk is less. The risk is mitigated by the mere fact that he has played more in the Premier League compared to Sheshko. And yeah, so it's to me, I usually say every signing is a risk. You are not guaranteed that every signing will work. For example, Arsenal have signed 4 players. It's not a guarantee that they'll all work. Liverpool have signed a couple of players. It's not guaranteed that it's going to work. Similar to City, it's not always a guarantee that when you sign a player, it will work. Look at us. We signed uh, Sancho, one of the best players at that time when we signed him. It didn't work out. Anthony, we saw the compilations, one of the best players at that time, one of the best wingers at that time. It hasn't worked out. So it happens. Look at Chiesa. or Chiesa at Liverpool. He was one of the best wingers in Europe. It didn't work out. Now he wants to move away after one season. So sometimes it doesn't work out. Every signing is a risk, and we might say we don't want Sesko. He comes in and performs. We might say we want to Watkins. He comes in and flops. So it's left to chance. It's just that we look at the previous season stats, and it gives us more confidence, and it helps us choose a less risky route to go. Now, tomorrow morning, we are going to play against AFC Bournemouth. This is the second game of the Premier League Summer Series, which is the game will be in Chicago, I believe. Yeah. And it will be at 4:30 a.m. Kenyan time. It seems that we have to wake up early to watch this. It will be at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, 31st July, 4:30 a.m. Bournemouth did win against Everton in their first game. They beat Everton 3-0. United have also won their first game, 2-1 against West Ham. And West Ham will be playing against Everton. That is tomorrow still. They'll be playing at 1:30. That's before the United versus Bournemouth game. And then United will after that, I think United will play Everton. Let me check when the game will be. Let me just confirm. So United will play Everton. The last game of the summer Premier League series will be on 4th August at midnight Kenyan time. So looking at that Bournemouth game, I watched the Bournemouth versus Everton game. Bournemouth are also far ahead in their preseason preparations compared to West Ham. They looked fitter, they looked more physical, faster, and they outperformed Everton. Everton were not quite prepared to handle Bournemouth. And Bournemouth, we know that they are very aggressive in their play. They press high, they press hard. And United, we saw that they also did the same against West Ham. So this will be an interesting game to watch. For my predicted squad, I would go with the same sort of squad against West Ham. The only difference I would make is starting Mazraoui. I'm not sure where Mazraoui is. I haven't seen him so far. Yeah, but if he's available, I'll start him over Yoro just to get him some fitness. And then if Zaxi is available, I would have him start up top instead of Hoyland, just to see how we'll play with Cunha and Bruno. The midfield the same. I want to see that relationship grow between Ugarte and Kobe. They had a good game versus the West Ham game. And I hope that we also get to fix the issues I highlighted in the previous live, where there is a big gap that's left between the midfielders, the two pivots, and the defenders when we are attacking. The center backs need to narrow that gap. And with Delict, Yoro, and Heaven, we do have pace. Or if we do play, Shaw instead of Heaven, or we play Mazraoui instead of Yoro, we do have the pace to cover the ground. As well as if we push high, we could easily have an offside trap. But that gap that was left when we were playing West Ham is quite troublesome, and we saw it a couple of times during the game as well as last season. So I'll pretty much go with the same squad. So I will start Bayandia in goal. I will go for Heaven on the left. If Luke Shaw is fit enough, I'll start with him just to see how he plays as a left centre back. In the centre, I'll stick with Delict. And then on the right, I will change Yoro and start with Mazraoui if he is fit. I haven't quite seen him training. I've even tried to look at the training videos. I haven't seen him. But if he's not fit, then we start with Yoro still on the right centre back. For the right wing back, I'd stick with Ahmad. The two sixes I've mentioned, Ugarte and Kobe. And on the left, let's maintain Dogu. Dogu, I'm having my stocks on Dogu. I'm sure most of us have had written him off, saying he's not good enough for United, but Dogu will actually prove people wrong. I believe in that kid. That kid is good. If you look at how he plays way better than Diego Dalot on the left. Dogu, I'm investing my stocks in him. And last season, if you watched the relationship between Garnacho and Dogu, most of the time Garnacho used to let Dogu down because Dogu makes good runs. Sometimes they are dummy runs, but once he does 2-3 dummy runs, you can easily slip a pass into him. He has good crossing. He's physical. He can run up and down. He can defend. He can attack. And I want to see how that relationship goes with Cunha, because the West Ham game, we did see it. We did see a bit of that chemistry and relationship going on the left-hand side, and it was working well. So I want to see Dogo on the left. The two tens, I want to see Cunha, hoping to see Bruno as well. And then up top, if Jay-Z is fit, I'd have Jay-Z staying up top. As for the predictions, it's tough. It's tough because Bournemouth did us a good one last season. And based on how they played against Everton, it will be a tough match. I'd go for a 3-2. I'd go for a 3-2 win to United. Or a 2-1 win. The difference will be a 1 goal there. It will be a tight match. Things might change when we make changes. For example, if we play the second team, who knows? We might be leading like 2-0. The second team comes in, we concede 1 or 2. We score another one and win. I'm going for a win. Let me be confident for a win. I'm going for a 3-2 scoreline. Let me know what you think, or what's your score prediction in the comment section below. And yeah, that's it for this video. We are happy that Sesko is in. I hope that we can make this deal happen. We do need a center forward, but as much as we need a center forward, we also need a midfielder. We need a goalkeeper. I'm not confident going into this season with Bayandia and Onan on goal. No way. No way. We need a good goalkeeper. Outgoings, not yet. Not yet. We don't have any outgoings, but let's see how it goes. The window is still open. It's still early. Things might work quite well. So thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks for everyone on TikTok Live who's watching. I'm seeing Tatiana. I'm seeing Jambi. I'm seeing Lewiski, Peter Pex, Fitzy. Thanks for watching. Everyone watching on YouTube as well. My personal profile that's on Facebook, and United Kwa Ground Twitter page. See you. Let's sleep early. Wake up early. If you've just started the day, you were lucky because you'll just wait till the afternoon to watch the game. But for us here in this part of East Africa, we have to sleep early, wake up early to watch the game. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a review of the game. I hope that I'll be able to analyze the game, come with the tactics board. We discuss about the whole tactics. And please make sure you go over to our TikTok page. There is an interesting discussion going up there about the West Ham versus United game. I did an analysis and guys are saying I'm wrong. Other guys are saying I'm right. I'm sure most guys didn't watch part 2 of the video, but go there and watch it. Make sure you also give this video a like. Go on YouTube, subscribe to this channel. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on X. Give our Facebook page a like. Until next time, cheers and God bless. Bye-bye.